wrong. And it's crazy. It's all really contradictory. Yeah, it's all contradictory, but at the same time, it's all working together. That's the fucked up part about it. It's like he's telling you what's going to happen and saying that he hates it and making laws against it, but at the same time, the people who actually pull the strings and pull his strings, their shit's moving along as smooth as ever too. Like this COVID shit. Trump's got COVID now. That's all you needed. All we needed was one big world leader to get COVID, and that was it. And who better would it be than Trump? What did he just say the other day? Oh yeah, I wear a mask when I need to. Yeah, I mean, I'll wear it. Whatever. Which that's generally how most of the people feel.
Yeah.
What's that?
There's so many things I want to say about Trump even having COVID,
bruh. Don't even get. Yeah, I shouldn't even open that can of worms up because yeah, yeah, I shouldn't even open that can of worms up because that's interesting in and of itself.
Because I mean, think about being one of any other country right now, and thinking, oh shit,
right.
The president of the United States now. That's if we're playing the game. I mean, who's it? Yeah, I don't know. It's and I've mind fucked myself in this way too. It's like it's some crazy shit, man. This whole situation is fucking crazy.
Right. Now I'll reiterate what we've said in previous casts before. What are actors? What are athletes? What are presidents? What are people in entertainment in general? What are they there for? They're there to steer us in a given direction, because we subconsciously look up to presidents, we look up to actors, we look up to athletes. All them getting COVID,
not.
I don't. It's a case by case basis, in my opinion. I'm not going to say that we shouldn't look up to any of those people at all, but you have to be really. You have to take it with the smallest grain of salt possible, because at the end of the day, entertainment, athletes, presidents, government, they all serve the same people. We've gone over this many times, and we're going to get into it a little bit more in a future cast that we're going to probably do next week. But they all serve the same people. And the fact that this is the first, now keep in mind, this is the first time in history that we've seen publicly through media actors, aside from like AIDS and shit like that, right? Magic Johnson got AIDS, whatever. These are the most celebrities that we've seen get healed from or die from COVID than we've seen from any other agenda they tried to push in history, I would argue, or any other disease agenda, anything. These are the most. What better way to make people feel like something's real than make people feel like the people that are untouchable have the same thing? Like, oh, I could get COVID. Holy shit, the president got COVID. Anything's possible. Everybody knows how protected the president is. Everybody knows how scripted their movements are. Oh, but the president got COVID. So holy shit, I'm even more scared now than I was before. That's the intended outcome, and I think it's working.
On some,
yeah, on some.
I don't think it's happening to as many people as you think it is, though.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, because Republicans were against the mask,
right?
Which again, I think is outrageous. The fact that we turned this into a political agenda. Of course. Like how the fuck? Like you can't decipher whether Republicans don't want a mask and Democrats want to wear a mask to keep everybody. Like that's not a thing. That's not a thing. I truly do believe everybody has their own opinions on that. I can't imagine, because as frustrated as I get with the mask, even still, sometimes like this is not a political agenda. This is a case by case kind of thing. Like it's either like it's a very thin line between it, because sometimes I want to believe that this COVID thing is happening as rapidly and as bad. I mean, I know people personally that got it, but like it's. Maybe, and again, I'm not tinfoil hat moment already. I know first topic of the night, tinfoil hat moment. Maybe it's not as bad, and we talked about this before. Maybe it's not as bad as they make it seem. We know for a fact it's not as bad as they try to make it seem. That we do know for a fact, pretty much, right?
CDC has come out and said this. The agenda pushers themselves have come out.
But then they made it hush afterwards, though.
Of course, but they said it.
But I don't know, man. This whole COVID, because you got half the country, because after this happened, after Trump caught COVID, half the country, literally, at least according to Twitter world, which everyone knows, when I report to contemporary comrades, it's from the Twitter world, to tell you guys what's going on. But at least according to Twitter world, it's half the people believe that he has it. The other half are saying that it's a fake, that he's doing this to get out of to deal with the Biden and having excuses of not being able to go out and do his whole rollout for his campaign.
Here's my rebuttal to that, if I may just chime in real quick. The dude looks sick as fuck. So either they're putting the makeup on him or whatever to make him not look like he normally looks, or he actually has the shit, or he actually is faking it. It's one of the three. But I don't think that he's trying to get out of debates. I don't buy that.
I don't think now the Trump that we know, which is from what we see, what we've seen for years and for decades, right, he wouldn't be trying to dodge this shit.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making. Yeah.
So
exactly.
The Trump that they've given us, now remember here, the Trump that they've given us, based off of that, he's a fighting man, and he will back down from no one and from nothing.
Exactly.
If it were up to him, he'd go out there every single night and continue his rollout for his campaign. All the way up until November the fuck?
I think it's the second.
The second. Okay.
Something like it. Second or third, where the fuck?
Yeah. So that's the Trump that we know.
Right.
Now, again, who's to say that, they're not telling him behind the scenes, all right, man, you got to lay low. So go out there, tweet what you have to, do a little mini press if you have to. I don't care.
Go to the hospital.
You have COVID for the next month, which means come November 1st or 2nd, hey fam, we might have to push this vote. We might have to push this
election. This poll. Which, how long they gonna push it for?
I think this has happened in history before. Maybe not.
We can look that up.
I highly doubt it. Because nothing, if nothing has been able to stop anything else, I don't think anything will be able to stop an election. So I'm gonna go with a hard no, just from a guessing standpoint. But I know we fact check on here, so Jaron's checking right now. But
yeah, so it would have to be approved by Congress. If it were to happen, it rests with Congress per Article 2 of the Constitution. So Congress can determine the time of choosing the electors and the day on which they shall give their votes. So, by the way, this election is going to be unlike any other election. You want to know why? I just not thought about this. All right, so remember did you watch the debate at all? Did you watch at least how much of the debate did you watch? I watched 45 minutes to an hour. But before we get into that, the U.S. has never postponed a presidential election. Okay, never. So that's gonna be history. That's gonna be history too. Because let me tell you something. Yep. The other night when I was watching the debate, old dude, the moderator, whatever the fuck his name is, Chris Wilson or something like that, or Williams, he said that it could possibly be weeks before we find out who actually wins because of the mail-in ballots. Right. Is this the first year we have mail-in ballots as well? So that they've always been a thing, but I think this is the most we've ever done. And also, people have already voted. Right. So, however, with all of that going on,
this is gonna be, so we won't know before we won't know on election night. We won't know the day after. It's possible that they will still be counting votes days after the election.
Yep.
Because of all the mail-in ballots, because of, well, COVID. Now, think about this too. Trump has been against the mail-in ballot stuff ever since he had a clue that this was going to be a thing this year, like a bigger thing than it usually is. Gotta say, man, pushing the election would favor this guy a lot.
Here's the thing, though.
This guy a lot.
Here's the thing, though. It would only favor him to a certain extent because per the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, it states that the presidential and vice presidential terms must end at noon on the 20th day of January. So if it were pushed past the January 20th at noon, Trump and Biden would be out of, or sorry, not Trump and Biden. Trump and Pence would be out of office anyway. So we would have no fucking president. So whoever the fuck the speaker, Nancy Pelosi would be the president at that point. The Speaker of the House. That's like they're third down the chain or something.
It would be a gap. I mean, we all know that this time next year Trump is still president. Period.
Right, but I'm saying it can only be postponed for so long before it would actually hurt him.
Yeah, I heard this. This little rumor that if Biden stays at 5% or above by midnight, by the end of election night, in terms of the other votes, not the mail-in ballots, but the, I guess, electronic votes or whatever the fuck. I never voted, so I don't know how that shit fucking works. But not all the votes except for the mail-in ballot ones. If he's up 5% or more, then he has a chance of winning the election. But if he's below 5%, or if he's losing by 5%, he's like a definite loss. Some shit like that.
So that means interesting. So that means
so basically, mail-in ballots still don't make up the majority. That's sense. Basically what they were assuming. So they're saying that basically, if he's not losing by 5%, then he has a fighting chance.
Until you get to the Electoral College and wherever the fuck they want to say goes, we'll probably end up going. But that's a whole other thing.
It's crazy. I had a conversation with a homeboy the other day about this shit. About the fact that, again, I haven't been on this whole, like, as some people say, conspiracy and all this other bullshit. I haven't been on that thing I've only been on that train for a couple years.